Hi, Mom. Hi, Wifey. Hi, kids. My name is Gang. Hey, it's a beautiful Friday evening, the last Friday of the month of April, and we are beaming from our cave right here in the beautiful restless city of Lagos, Nigeria. It's another day to put away all the weight of the world as we try to unravel the most interesting moments from the week. Now, the show is The Black Table, and it's the ultimate men's guide. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. As you know, there's never a dull moment on the show right here, where, I think I'm replacing Zeno. You know, you're one of the man that could grow facial hair. But anyway, he'll be back pretty soon. He's out there enjoying himself. But you know, I'm never alone on this show. Joining me are some extraordinary gentlemen, right, that leave no stone unturned when it comes to our discussion. Allow me to introduce to my left here, yes, producer extraordinary Olamide Jean-Luc is with us. He's been on the Black Table before, so he makes a return. Welcome, Olamide.
I kind of preferred you introducing me as a sperm donor.
Yeah. I did that. I did that earlier on.
I added to the list of my repertoire, but it's wonderful to be here. Yeah. Great evening.
Great to have you. And also to my right here, the premium MC. Finally. Always on point, always on deck, looking like a politician that rigged votes. Here he is here. Mr. Deck joins us on the Black Table again. Welcome to the show.
Governor.
I'm always excited to be here, you know, and also very careful so that I don't say the things that will make me sleep outside. You know, you have to be careful. So I'm on my best behavior because Madame is literally watching tonight.
All right, great to have you back on the show yet again.
Thank you.
All right, we might be joined by a special guest, but you're gonna have to wait for that as we continue to enjoy our drinks. We suggest you do the same. Grab a glass, fill it up, and, you know, do the necessary. You can always be a part of the show with the hashtag #DBlackTable on TVC to respond to so many of our discussions that we have picked from social media. So let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll jump into our quick-fire discussions right here on The Black Table on TVC.
You always take the bill on the first date, second date, and third date. Bro code.
All right, welcome to The Black Table. We do this every Friday night from 11 p.m. to 12 in the morning. Now, let's jump to our very first story. You guys all know this gentleman. He was part of the first ever Big Brother Nigeria cast that took place. I think that was back in 2006. His name is Gideon Okeke. He crossed over into the acting world and became a very big star. So Gideon put something on social media that actually revealed to me, I never knew his marital status had changed. I did not know this. And I like the fact that you're both married and you're both fathers. So you'll be able to share in this. Unfortunately, Gideon is no longer married. And that's what I found out earlier on during the week. So actor Gideon Okeke writes an open letter to single mothers who prevent their kids from seeing their fathers. Let's start with Mr. Deck. What is your take? Single mothers that prevent kids from having that quality time with their fathers. You know, how would it be for you if you were separated and your wife denied you quality time from seeing your kid?
So the thing is, first and foremost, I would like to do, God forbid. No, so I mean, on a serious note, it is important to understand that if you are with a woman, all right, or you're a woman and you're with a man, you need to decide some certain things before you have children with that man. One of which is knowing fully well that if there was ever going to be a quarrel or a dispute between the both of you, you will not deny those children the love and affection of parents on child or on children. Because fortunately and unfortunately for me, I was born out of wedlock. My parents were never married. And because of that experience, for me, it's important that I bridge that gap. It's important that if I've decided to get married, I have to stay married.
I love the fact that you went. So did you grow up with your mom?
So I grew up with my mom, but it was co-parenting in such a way that I would, I'll go to school with my mom and do my holidays with my dad. It was an agreement and an understanding that went on for a while.
Yeah.
You understand? Just so that they could broker peace between the both parties, right? They're not together anymore, which is okay, but they have a child together, and it's, the onus is on both of them to make sure that they have to find a way around that child.
That's
such
a fantastic thing, by the way.
It's important.
I grew up in the same situation whereby my folks were separated by the time I was 10 years old, and I spent most of my life growing up with just a single parent, which was my mom. And my dad was never in the picture. In and out of the country. At a point in time, we all lived in the UK. Then after a while, we were back in Nigeria. It was in the UK. It was very horrible. It was bad, but it didn't turn out horrible because
I was about to say that.
Yeah,
judging how I know you guys, and you guys turned out pretty okay.
And I feel I'm a strong supporter of women who have been able to raise children by themselves, and they've done exceptionally well. Like, my mom was wonderful. She was a mom, she was a dad, she was everything. And
but do you have any form of resentment towards your father?
No. I saw my father some days ago. My mom's late, by the way. And I don't think so. I think life happens. Many things happen. There are things that we do not have control over.
Yeah.
But the most important thing is what Dex said. The parents need to find a way to agree and do it for the children. Yes, you might not be together, but you share something together, and that can never be denied.
So the thing is, I appreciate the fact that you said all the things that you've said. However, from someone who grew up with both parents, you might not really understand what I'm about to say. But from my perspective, as a child who was in between two parties, there is a difference between a child who grew up or who has been growing up with the feel that I have daddy and mommy together.
Yes,
and a child who never had that opportunity. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I never had the opportunity to see my dad and my mom married together.
Yeah.
They were never married. My parents were never married. So it's totally different from someone like you.
Has it made you second guess your decisions as a married man today?
So that's the thing.
Yes.
So wait. That's the thing. So you must also understand that I made a conscious decision not to relive the life I have lived before. Do you understand what I mean?
We should shake on it. We're on the same path.
Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't want to leave that life.
Let me jump in here real
Which is why it's important. I'm so sorry. Which is why it's important that parents of nowadays need to take into cognizance that we need to drop every pride, we need to drop every quarrel, bickering, whatever it is that is going on between
the children.
Drop it
and
think about the children.
Yeah.
So a lot of the time, so our parents' time, I feel like they were more matured. All right. Yes, we're quarreling. Yes, we're not in good terms. But my father used to send food to my mom.
Regardless of the fact
that we're not together, I don't like you or whatever. When my dad was sick, my mom will come and check up my dad just to say hello, which is normal, in that age and time. But we're in the computer age where everybody is feeling like I'm
let me toss a wrench into this now. We hear a lot of situations where some people stay in the marriage because of the children.
That's disastrous, by the way.
Do you understand?
So you see that's
they stay in the marriage because of the children. They know the impact it would make, so they stay in it. Now, like what Gideon is saying now, some women use this as a tool. Do you understand? To kind of like punish the man.
Yeah.
You understand? To make him not have a relationship with his children, not knowing the mental effect it would have on the kids in the future. So just hold that thought. Let's take a quick break. And when we come back, the Black Table will continue as we have another guest that's joining us that's still happily married with his wife and children. We'll be right back. We'll be right back. Always treat.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail, or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table. So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Made Kuti in the building. It's still 7 of 7, and we've been doing a whole lot of protesting. The only thing that remains is just to carry placard.
It's about 5 of 7, to be honest. Because, ask your question. I have so much to speak about once we finish.
We will not give you the time because it's 7 of 7.
I will make the time now. He said he will not ask questions about science.
No.
About neuroplasticity.
And based on
He asked a question that was subjective about high life, and he did not finalize his answer about a Kuti question where there are only 3 of us
editor, scratch this part
that could
out.
have possibly come.
Welcome back to the Black Table. Joining us is a regular on the show. He is a stylist, a fashion mogul,
Only me.
our rich uncle.
Rich uncle in the house.
Femi is in the studio with us. Welcome to the show, Femi.
How far now?
Yes, Lagos City traffic is doing him strong thing.
We all live in the same place, so everybody knows they go.
So I know you've been catching the show and following up
Yep.
on our discussion. Let's just jump. I want to get Femi's take on this before we move to our next quick fire. Gideon Okeke had mentioned something real quick on social media. He wrote an open letter to single mothers who prevent their kids from seeing their fathers. I know you're a very happy father. I've seen your relationship with your son and your daughter. What's your take on this for single mothers that prevent their fathers having an influence on the kids?
But they regret it later now. It's just life now. You can't raise a child alone. As a father, you can't raise a child alone. A mother can't raise a child alone. It's just what it is. Like, nobody needs to tell you that now.
Yeah.
You can go your separate ways, but that child ties you together forever and ever. So what's the point?
Let me ask you a quick question to put you on the spot. And this is not going to happen to you. Like Dex said, God forbid, God forbid. Right?
forbid what?
If you and your wife were to separate, right, would you want custody of the children?
I can't take care of them like she would take care of them. That I know. So
True talk.
there's no point.
Because, you know, on the average, the thing is the women usually get the custody of the children. That's almost like basic.
Almost automatic.
Yeah, but I feel like as a guy, if you are 101% sure that you know what, I can give them everything she can't. I can give them everything money can provide, but how about doing assignment, being there? I can't do it.
True that.
You know, what I feel is this. It's very simple. There are roles that women play in the society, and they play
You can't take
very
it away
well.
from them. You
There's
can't
no
take
way
it away
man
from them.
can, have that nurturing spirit,
can't.
that level of
You can look at the
details
child and know when the
taking care
child
of
is
children.
sick.
So,
You can just look at the child and know this child is
Just this
fine.
mother thing. But I also feel that fathers provide a certain
You balance
certain
everything
thing as
now.
well.
Yeah,
that
you
the
galvanize
mothers
everything
can
together.
So you know the thing is, I don't think there should be, as maybe the fathers can do this or the mothers can do this. Both parties can do something in
They're
life
gender roles,
and
though.
need to do things.
Yeah, but they're gender roles. They're
Yeah,
clearly
gender-
defined gender
so
roles.
It's not even about the gender roles, and I'll tell you why. The reason is because we have fathers who do more than mothers do. Let me give you an example.
Possibly.
A friend of mine, whose wife had an issue, wife leaves the house, left 3 children.
Wow.
And this guy has taken the place of a mother in these children's life. He leaves work, comes back home, and makes sure that everything is fine.
That's really difficult.
Up until today, as I'm talking to you,
that's really
he's
difficult.
still mothering these children because obviously he's not married yet. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the thing is, every responsible father will do anything possible to raise his or her child.
Yeah, but there's a balance. There's a balance that the other side brings that you can't do 100% by
No,
yourself.
that's what I'm saying.
Let me
But
bust
if
your
you
brain.
want-
Let me bust your brain. Let me bust
it
your
gets
brain.
to the point where if you have to do it, you will get
If
it
I
done.
have to do it, I will do it,
That's
but I
the thing.
know I'll never be doing it 100%.
Yeah, but
I
no, let
know.
me bust your brain.
Okay.
Let me bust your
Okay.
brain with some statistics. And although these are American statistics,
Okay.
most homes where the father is absent,
They end up.
there's a
jail.
disadvantage to the kids.
Generally,
So-
in life, generally.
So there's a role the father figure plays
Absolutely.
that sometimes these women don't know.
We can't
and then,
overemphasize
and
that.
because of what he said, right? The statistics also show that to an extent, it's better for the kids to grow up with the man, if it's the man alone,
because they
than
want
to
to
grow up
balance,
with
they
the
want a
woman
balanced view
alone.
of life.
I
Yes.
agree.
You know
So
what
what
I
I
think.
think,
You know what I
what
think?
I'm saying.
I
So
think-
sorry,
I think-
Olabile.
Hold
So
on.
sorry,
Let me
Olabile,
hear
so sorry.
Jack real quick.
My point is simple, all right? I agree with you totally that there are gender roles, and of course, everyone has a part to play in this whole thing, right? But my point is that if it comes to the place where we have irreconcilable,
If you have to step up, you have to step up now.
irreconcilable
No, I feel you. No, I do
differences,
get your point,
or
though.
we cannot resolve any issues
You have
between
to put on your
ourselves.
big boy pants
Let
and-
us just do it. And you see, the thing is
All right.
this: there are people who actually know how to do these things.
Yeah.
Let me tell
I
you
have
why.
to
I'll tell
accept,
you
yeah.
why. A father who is determined to raise his child, regardless of what the mother does, will do a phenomenal job. But I'm saying that if these both parties can decide to be matured and say, okay, you know what, let's do this together. It won't affect you. I'm not coming
Yeah.
into your life.
Yeah.
You're not coming into my life. Let's just be there to co-parent with
What
for
you're
our
saying,
child.
what you're
or our
saying is a
children.
perfect example about how you grew up.
Yes.
Before we go to the next topic, you had something you wanted to say, Olamide.
Yeah, quick one. I just feel a lot of these things are determined based on certain factors. And those factors are society, financial background, religious background, and capacity. So you see, in different parts of the world, this happens. It's very common. We have people separate and, they have issues handling the custody of their children, dealing with certain responsibilities. But there are certain factors that always make these things work better. If you're financially okay, trust me, you can raise your children,
That's
give them the
correct.
very best of education,
Yes.
give them the
It
very
comes down
best
to
of
the
life.
money.
So
It's something you
it comes
can
down to
relate
so
with.
many
That's
things.
correct.
Yeah.
But if you are lacking in all these things, man, guy,
How do you
don't
want
go
to
to
manage
Damo.
it?
So I feel like, honestly though, I feel like it's all about effort though, because when I was about 6 or 7 years old, my parents separated. And till I can remember, my father used to still send my mother a Rolex or a Raymond Rail wristwatch.
It wasn't
on her
here when I
birthday.
was saying that.
Yeah.
And when he goes to Jant, he used to live in a house, oh. They were separated though. He was married to somebody else.
Can you see
But they
what I'm
still
saying?
had a very,
He wasn't
very...
here when I was saying
They had
that.
a very, very cordial, like, okay, you know what,
Because
these are
at that
kids.
time,
So
at that
that,
time,
for me,
they were matured.
For me, that makes me
That's
now
the
see
thing.
when people say, oh, I'm not talking to you. I'm like, you can go your separate ways and still... I mean, because
And
those
yeah,
kids tie you together forever.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Forever and ever.
It's a lifetime
There's
contract.
nothing you can do about
So
it.
there's no point fighting. We are fighting today when you know that in 10 years' time you
We're
will
going to be-
you will resolve the issue. Whether or not you like it.
To wrap it up, I know a story of they were very cordial up to the point where the kids were even getting married. So even at the children's wedding, the man was there with another wife, mother was there with her own.
I experienced that a couple of times.
So that
Well,
happens. But we need to move on because we have so many stories to discuss because so many things happen in this month of April. I don't know if any of you can relate with this next story. Now, a man on the social media by the name of Sheung Sean Jimo One said, I really don't understand why a woman will leave her husband for cheating and start dating a married man when she becomes single.
no battle.
A woman leaves her husband because the husband cheated.
Yeah.
And then when she's single, she starts dating a married man.
Because reality hits her hard.
Double standards.
No, it's not. It's actually not double standard. You can't experience a pain that you've not felt. Like, you have to experience it for you to know how it feels. So for a woman, a single woman, or a married woman that says, oh, my husband cheated on me, I'm not doing it again. Then she will now get to the streets and realize, oh, more go see go streets, you. One. Then number two, she will now realize also that, because I have a friend.
When I say this, they always look at me.
Oh, yeah, continue. I have a friend that she was married and she left her husband for cheating. Then she married another guy years down the line. Then maybe like 9-10 years later, one day we were having a conversation and she was like, if I know what I know now back then,
she wouldn't have left
that guy. I'm like, why? She was like, because the guy's an excellent guy. His only problem was that it was like woman. Here I am, 9 years in with somebody else who's doing exactly the same thing that guy used to do.
You know the funny thing?
The man.
You know the funny thing? This evening, I was still having the same conversation with some of my colleagues, and I was like, see, I do not think cheating is enough for a marriage to go sour, because I feel there are worse things. And I said, you know, the worst thing
in the background, by the way. Let me just say
the worst thing that can happen to anyone in the marriage is full deceit, not cheating.
Yeah.
Because I feel different marriages around the world have their different moments, different issues, different challenges, different problems. And a lot of times when women leave their partners to say, oh, I'm running to the next person, they necessarily even get worse. I remember talking to a friend of mine who, she has 2 kids and had issues in her marriage, and she started saying, oh, I'm going to leave, blah, blah, blah. I said, hey, madam, you are old cargo. There's no man.
Women don't like that's the way you just talk.
No, I have to be honest with her. I said, there's no man who's willing to take care of your 2 children.
She'll tell you
She listened to me. She listened to me.
Maybe in this kind of scenario, the woman is used to marital sex, so she can't see herself going for a single guy.
So let me tell you something.
Is there a difference between marital sex and single sex?
There's a way the guy.
I don't want us to. I don't want us to.
I don't understand.
I don't want us to.
I know you're talking from experience,
but one more thing before I get your point.
Okay.
There was a scenario, I've heard this before.
One of your friends, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
No, but it's like, I've heard a lady, a married woman, say this, that it was like she was cursing the girl that her husband had cheated with.
Okay.
And she was like, karma will get you, somebody will cheat on your own husband. And I told her, pause. You that your husband is cheating, did you ever cheat with somebody that made your own husband cheat on you? I said, karma doesn't work that way. Something can happen to her, but it's not as if you to your husband will cheat. What if that one never gets married? It doesn't work that way. So there's a lot of things you need to consider. Like Olamide was saying, that it's more than just sex. You decide to leave your partner because he slept with somebody else. Then when your turn comes, and then you now have the opportunity to be with a married man, do you now understand what your husband went through, the dynamics that your husband went through? Do you now accept the reason why he cheated?
Life teaches everybody.
There's so many lessons to learn. So now let me get your thoughts.
So the question is, first and foremost, the lady in question, how did she get to where she was? How did she meet the married man? Did she want to do it to spite her husband? Did she want to do it just to see what it felt like? Because women have a very diverse mind. That woman might feel like, I want to be with a married man just to feel what my husband was feeling.
Okay, so I feel like it might not necessarily...
so there are different things to look out
It might not necessarily have been like that. It might just have been simple life. Oh, I've left my husband. I'm a single lady. I'm now living by myself. There's this guy who I'm always talking to. One thing leads to another. We have a couple of drinks. Like, life happens to everybody. Nobody is immune from life happening. Life happens to everybody. And guess what? She's going to beat herself up every day of her life. That, I left my husband.
So she'll cry herself.
What if it's an ex that's also married?
Married man, I don't get any other.
As long as he's married, you understand?
So I don't want to make it sound like we're justifying cheating here.
Yes,
that they do
we don't want to do that.
No.
I've always said this, and I'm different from you guys. Like, so I always think that marriage, cheating, they are social constructs. There was a time while we were growing up, these things were not what they are today. Let's not lie to ourselves.
True.
I remember the way I grew up. Like, my uncle, my father, that's his wife, that's his other wife, that's his other wife. Everybody lived in peace.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, they were not breaking bottles on their head. They lived their lives.
Which takes me back to the point where I said to you You see, the time of our fathers is totally different from
Oh, completely,
the times
completely.
you know,
And then
the computer
like
age.
I was telling someone
right? So it's
yesterday,
important to note. Sorry, it's important to note that
times are different.
what will work during our father's time will not
may
work
not
now.
work now.
You understand? But may also not be correct, or may also not augur well. Do you understand? Some of the things that happened then maybe worked for them. You understand? And if we look at it now, I don't know if it will work now, even if it's something that is working.
Personally, I feel like
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I feel like we are not just Africans generally. Like we try to. There's reality and there's delusion, right?
Right.
I feel like the world that we live in today tries to blur the lines between reality and daydreaming.
Yeah.
So they just tell you, okay, I mean, we live in a world where I can come up tomorrow and say I'm a girl. Everybody say, okay, I'm a girl. Because the truth is, when you look at the dynamics, even the Western world, where what we're trying to be like, monogamy is not working there.
Yeah.
It's clearly not working. They have the highest divorce rate. It's clearly not working here too.
Yeah, that's correct.
It's not working anywhere.
So I saw something, I think last week, where a lady had a boyfriend, a husband, and now she's trying to get another boyfriend again.
Yeah. And
I think
she
I saw that.
just said-
I saw that.
yeah.
So, you know, the thing is this. Now they're trying to, you know, delve into that.
I think there was some
One
part
day
of
somebody...
Africa that used to happen before.
Yeah, so
There was some
women
part of Africa where it
women
used
are
to
beginning
happen.
to go into polygamy and all of that.
There's so
All
many
right?
things that they're
Did you say
going into.
women are beginning to?
Yes,
Women
openly.
have always,
Openly.
but
Openly is
they've
the-
done it. They've done it.
Like you said,
They've
it's a
done it
social
codedly.
construct.
They've
Right?
always
So
done
they are
it.
trying to construct that social idea
Okay,
properly, so that
maybe this
we
will be-
accept it.
This
You
evening-
understand?
All
So
right,
that's what
okay.
I think.
Dex, this evening, I shared about 4 different personal experiences with my colleagues,
Right.
and they were like, "Wow!" I'm like, "See, all these things that you think it's just men doing it. Women do it all
Also,
the time.
gender-
It's
cheating
always a
is
matter.
They know how to
it-
hide
it
it
doesn't
better.
have
It's just a
gender.
matter of
Everybody
who
is-
They know how to
or
hide
how
it
you
better.
went around it.
We're
And
all
yes,
guilty. So with that said,
I'm not
right?
part of it. Mama Kobe
With that
Boroga.
said, right, that should take us straight into our next quick fire. Now we all know Pishan from Skookie.
Yeah,
You know,
I know that guy. Yeah,
he's been
like
a relationship person.
Yeah.
So he made this statement on social women saying that Nigerian women need to go back to being traditional women.
Joe.
The time has passed.
So now it's basically
No,
like.
but that time has
So please
passed, though.
define traditional women.
Now here's the thing: we have traditional women, we have the modern woman.
Right.
You know, traditional women, more or less, that's in my own
Conservative
definition.
women.
I'll tell you, conservative to an extent, knew their place, knew their roles, knew they had specific things that were assigned to women to do, and men had their own responsibilities. So you could clearly distinguish man, woman. You get me? So I'll start with Olamide at the bar to hear what your take is. Do you think Nigerian women today, these young girls, or these girls in general, should be more like traditional women? Or they should, as they made it more
It's an
modern?
idea that some people, believe can work. But it's an idea far gone. It's in the past. There's no such thing as a traditional woman anymore. There's no such thing as a traditional man, because we've blurred the lines over time. Responsibilities, technology, society itself has bended the entire rules when it comes to being traditional or not. I don't think I want to be with a traditional woman. I mean, a traditional woman doesn't know how to clean the shafts very well. So
Well, it depends, though. No, but it depends. This is what I think.
Let me hear
So I
Femi.
feel like in the world we live in today, you can't ask women to be traditional anymore. I mean, if they are going to be working, most traditional women back then, all they did was just take care of the house.
Housewives,
It was a full-time job in itself. Let's not lie.
Yeah.
But now, if she's
It still is.
it still is, exactly. If she's going to work, I'm going to work. You can't expect her to still now come back and do all those traditional things. So first things first, choose your struggle. Number one.
Yeah.
But I'll say there is no man in the world that would not want a traditional woman. Let's not lie to ourselves. Because the truth is, when you have those back and forths with girls, I'm not even talking with females now, you're like, something's wrong here. Have you spoken to any modern day woman and you're like, it's like, am I dating a guy? Like, why are you talking like this? But guess what? They don't know. They don't know because that's how they grew up. They grew up into...
That's the idea they grew up into.
So,
Yeah.
I have a friend that tells me I was talking to one of my friends, and one guy that has interest in me, and the guy said that I'm like a man. I'm like, yeah, you're my friend, but I know you're like. And I was like, how, what? I'm like, it just comes across in everything you say. Like, there are certain things that a woman back then would never say to a man. Those lines have been blurred now, right? And then we now have the idea where women feel like, oh, if I have to let him speak before I speak, that means he's oppressing me.
Yeah.
Like, and then
it's that mindset.
That mindset and a lot of other things that are going on now. It blurs the line between man and woman. For the African man today, he knows the kind of woman he wants. But the African woman today actually thinks that she's a guy. But she doesn't know she acts like a guy. But she knows, like,
my thinking is this. We need to be careful about what we ask for. I think, a lot of men would want a traditional woman. But in actual sense, we can't deal with a traditional woman because we've been built in a way over time whereby we like to be challenged.
In that scenario now.
So the thing
let me put Deck on the spotlight now.
Okay.
Would you prefer a modern day woman, or you'd want your wife to be more traditional?
I can answer for you.
I will answer.
Yeah. You want your wife to be more traditional?
I will answer, but I will answer in a very diplomatic way.
Okay.
Don't be.
And I'll tell you why.
This is.
No. Yes, I want a modern woman
say
with the ideals of a traditional woman. Does that make sense?
Okay, so you want a
modern woman
with the ideals
of a traditional woman, which essentially means that there are definitions to what tradition is. Now, I think on the show some time ago I mentioned to you that
things that your wife does in terms of serving you food.
Serving where I come from.
I remember.
My wife is supposed to sit down with me, watch me eat.
Yeah.
And then after eating,
in this era,
she will pack the plate.
But
let me no. So we don't do that.
You go here and say, now say this guy married. Then go finish you.
So that's it. So for me,
if you wanted his name, you should have said so.
No. So hold on. The thing is, my wife knows this.
But she does it out of love. Like, what I don't understand is how people...
Wait now. Before you put me in trouble, let me finish so that she's watching and she know I finish what I say.
Go ahead.
So the thing is that she does it, right? All right? She does, the serving and all of that. But I pack the plates. You understand?
You're packing hold on. You're packing the plate now.
I will wash the plate.
Wait, are you packing the plate now because a part of you feels like I'm enslaving this woman?
So that's the thing. So love supersedes. All right. I love my wife enough to know that, okay, if she's tired, baby, you know what, you're tired, eat your food. I pack our plate and I will wash it. That's out of love.
Death for governor.
I'm not a man that will watch my wife cook. All right. And I will still, cross my leg and expect her to pack the plates and wash it as well.
I think that's just being human.
Now, so you must understand that while my wife is cooking, she's working because she works from home sometimes. All right, she's working, and I can see that she's on her laptop, she's on her phone, cooking, back and forth and all of that. And I will still be the same person that is saying that my wife, she's a techie person, she's this, she's that, but she's traditional. She will pack my plate. No, I won't do that. So we need to find a balance between wanting a modern woman and managing the traditional idea.
And I think basically
what
works for you works for you.
So that's
the problem I have now is this. Some women want to be, in this day and age, they don't mind being traditional women. You get me?
They do.
No, this is what I'm saying.
I can't.
This is what I'm saying.
Do you people mind? No. Do you mind being a traditional woman? No. It's a yes or no. No, but this is what I'm saying. I said some. Even if it's 1 in a million.
Yes.
But the problem is this. They get attacked.
I'm about to offend a lot of women. So if a woman is out there and she's playing traditional, she's a lazy effing woman.
No. I said there is something wrong with this bar.
I said it.
Hold on. So I have Olamide's wife on the line.
What's she saying?
Don't come home.
We're going to take a break. No, but Olamide, I think your wife is on the line. We're going to take a break.
Jokes aside, though, I don't think you can say, because I personally I don't understand why women work.
Olamide, your
But
wife
that's
is
just
on
me.
the line. We have to take a break. Olamide's wife is on the line. We'll be right back to see what Olamide's wife has to say and move on to our main discussion for tonight. Don't forget, you can be a part of the show with the hashtag on the Black Table so that we can get some of your statements and hear what you have to say. Don't go anywhere. We'll fill our glasses. We'll be right back.
You always take the bill on the first date, second date, and third date. Bro code.
Ladies and gentlemen, multiple award-winning actor, producer, ambassador of Edo people, we have Tinosa Idemudia in the building.
Not be first to go police station, they win the case. So
Okay.
you are showing yourself.
I go see as my second
You are
question.
feeling like a contact the prancing peacock. I'm about to cut your wings. Hello. Now, in the amalgamation of 1914, who was the woman who said, who drew the line of the amalgamation? They, who cut the report? Who is the person that used scissors? What is his name?
That woman.
That
Yeah, drink.
you have done me dirty. I've marked your face. I've marked your face. If anything happened to me today,
I don't
if I don't reach my house. Anyway, I'm gonna be chauffeured, so.
You remember now, Avi? Yeah, but you never too thin. Now you remember.
Hey.
If a person who indulges habitually in watching a sexual material is called a voyeur,
That's what they're called.
it's clear so you don't go even get the next one.
Hey, a voyeur.
Voyeur.
Then go on.
What is a person who makes one
A
called?
voyeur. A voyagist. A bon voyage. Now Lagos with if you not jump person go jam you.
You know, every time you open that your stupid mouth, you show exactly what you know.
What?
You are drunk. Jesus! You can't defend your wife anymore now, Julius.
Right.
None of this is his fault.
What's going on?
I can't explain, just come.
We are the Durojais.
We are the Akbans.
We are the Obioras.
So how are you two doing?
Who cares?
She's a rude girl.
You are a stupid man.
Oh, Miss Pima, you are a stupid woman.
I mistakenly carried her bra. Mistakenly.
You took my bra.
What gives you the right?
He said he can't face you.
This is interesting. What? I thought all we were doing.
To put your contributions online that we will read on the show right here. Still have my guest with me, some extraordinary gentlemen, and our major discussion for tonight is simple and straightforward. If you're married, listen to this. If you're single, do the same. It says, and I disagree with this 110%, do not bring your single friends into your matrimonial home. Do not bring your single friends into your matrimonial home. Let me start with myself and why I kind of have issues with
No,
this.
before we start, I want to say something. I want to, it's an open statement. So let's narrow it down. Your single friends. Are we talking about lady single friends or
Male.
male
I think it
single
applies
friends?
to both. I think it applies to both. But let's focus first. We'll come to the opposite gender.
Okay.
Do you understand? But let's start with your male friends. Now, in my group of friends, I was one of the early ones that got married. So a lot of my close friends were still single. Lucky for me, they were friends with my wife. But the problem now is when you want to go out, when you want to hang out, when you want to do certain things, when the gist that you guys usually have comes into your home, a lot of them used to give the respect and be like, guy, we can't really mess with you like that on that level. You're married now. I'll be in the club and they'll be like, it's time for you to go home. And I'll be like, why only me? Like, you're married now. Go back home. Go and be with wifey. So it now makes you kind of like resent the fact that am I losing my friends That's what happened to me. Am I losing my friends? And people will tell you that you're married. Go and hang with other married people. But I'm like, my friends, there was just like 1 or 2 of us that were married, but the bulk of them were still single. So do I kick my friends now out of my home and no longer be friends and start looking for married people and make new friendships?
Who did single people offend?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, why?
So now, thank you, Femi. Let me
Who came up with this thing, though?
You know, it's something that has been discussed on social media during the week. So people are like, you shouldn't invite your single friends into your matrimonial.
So because I'm married, they should stop being my friends.
Help me ask them.
So the thing I'm trying to understand is this: if you're saying do not invite a friend that is single and you're just starting the relationship, it's one thing. But if you've established a long-term friendship with these individuals, you can't tell me not to bring my friends home. I mean, I feel that if it's truly a marriage and if it's truly a union, then these are people that you would have known prior to me getting married. I can use myself for an example.
But what if it's that your friend that's a bad influence?
Okay, so so what's the danger of bringing my single friend home? What's the danger in there?
They could influence your actions and make you become like Gideon in our story or the other stories as well. Here's the funny thing. Let me put it to you like this. Single friends are still living that single life. Okay. They might not be committed in a committed relationship.
So if they come to my house, they will now convince me
they
to go and be like them.
They can influence you to still be acting
but I'm
like
still friends with them now. We go out now. Why is it that when they come into my house, no problem go there?
Now, we can also put it to, we had this, a story on the show at one point when they were talking about people living in your house.
I'm not for people living in your house. I'm not for that one.
But basically, it's like the way single friends can still influence you to behave like you're no longer married.
Yeah, but the thing is, that doesn't have to happen in your house. That can happen anywhere. Anywhere. It can happen in the group chat. It can happen in the bar. It can happen anywhere.
Yeah. So, but when they say in your house, it doesn't necessarily mean it's not just exactly always under your roof. In your life in general.
So, are you saying that the moment I get married, I should cut off all my single friends?
That's the debate.
Come on.
No, I don't think. I think that's total BS.
So you know the thing is, you know, the whole single or no single friend is basically who you are as a person. The truth is,
since you brought it up,
yes,
the opposite gender, female friends
for a guy,
yes,
like a single friend.
Wait.
So let me give you.
Sorry, let me hear that one.
So let me give.
You say what? You say what?
So one of my friends, one of my very close friends, who is a lady,
female,
yes,
whom your wife
was on
like,
my train. She was a groom's lady. All right.
Yeah.
I used to go to her house.
Marked for destruction.
I used to chill with her. Like we used to chill, relax.
I can tell you for
I know all her boyfriends.
I can tell you for your wife is not
she knows how things are with me and my wife and all of that. You know, that kind of thing. We're very close, right? It didn't change anything. It's basically, see, I look at this thing as knowing who you're friends with and respecting their marital status.
Yeah.
It's one thing for you to know I'm married. It's another thing for you to come and tell me that I want to see my friend now.
But wait, let me quickly toss something in. Let me toss something in. So I used to have this friend. We're not friends any longer because I have not talked to him in many years. I used to have this friend, and he was such a bad influence that he doesn't understand boundaries.
Exactly.
And the moment I got married, he was the first person to cut off, because I remember that when we're still in uni together, this guy, it was a trips thing for him. Whenever he sees any of his friends trying to get serious in a relationship, he's always trying to test the waters for you. Like, it's either saying, how only you go to chop this fine girl. You understand? And guess what?
To the kind of friend.
You got bad
those kind of friends.
I'm serious. What? Okay. Charles Ogbemudia. I didn't so you know this guy knocked my babe for uni.
So, okay, that's where the pain is coming from.
You never forget.
Not much today.
You want to test the water. So you know the thing is, you know, I thank you very much for this friend. So I have this friend as well. Hold on. Guy, hold on.
Let me just say that. You have said on the show before.
My guy, friend.
So you know the thing is, so I love the fact that you talked about boundaries.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's understanding who you are and, you know, of course, who you're friends with.
Yeah.
You know that this person is married. You guys get sense now. You guys know, say, okay, you know, suppose they talk some kind of things, right? So this guy comes to my house, right? And he's, you know, he's single. Obviously, he's one of my most single guys. Most single. And you know, the ironic part is that this guy has 2 kids.
Oh,
but he's single.
Man about time.
Never
about town.
That is
crazy single. All right, never been married. Right now, the guy comes to my house and, you know, chills. You know, of course, we eat and, you know, it's close to myself and my wife. So he's our friend. All right, of course, from being my friend, became an adopted friend to my wife as well.
Yeah.
Now, where Kasala Boss was where he brought a girl to my house. My wife has warned several times, you do not bring girlfriends to my house. She said it too.
It's not your girlfriend, it's his.
That's what I'm saying. You don't know my wife, oh. My brother, let's not go there.
What if it's a girlfriend that's potential to become?
So that's a different thing. Just make sure that it's only that girl that is coming.
Yeah.
All right? Baba brought a babe to my house, chilled, and at least you supposed get sense. No, say you supposed relax. Okay, so you have a girl with you, right? The girl, you are in someone's married house,
exactly.
matrimonial home.
I'll tell you so.
And you did chill, you know, and you are drinking, and you are even. You actually went outside, started smoking. I'm like, you know that kind of thing. You can't really.
Oh yeah, so
you know that's fine. That's fine. Baba now came to my house. I think one other time like that, brought another babe. My babe told me. She said, if you don't tell him to get out, I will be the one to go and tell him.
You know what? Funny story.
I had to go and tell my friend. Baba,
funny story.
Bring babe
Funny
from
story.
my house and
My younger brother, is one of the most responsible people I know. But the moment I got married, and then he told me that he wanted to bring a girl over, I said, so Lozo, this will be your guy. But it cannot happen. I didn't wait for my wife to tell me, because I just realized that there's certain things that once you're a married person, you need to put a stop to.
Absolutely.
You know,
so
they don't need to tell
you guys have said so many things, and there was something Femi said that I'm really trying to key on. You can't stop being friends with some of your guys because you're now married.
Or you can stop certain things.
But at the same time, your friends should have a level of maturity to know that they should respect your home,
boundaries,
and respect your marriage, which comes to boundaries.
Yes,
you get me. But it's easy for us to say this as guys. What if your wife had a male friend that she was very close to, and that one kept coming around?
Everyone can't even marry her.
No,
now.
that can't happen. No, that can't happen.
Wait.
You don't let me speak. Let me break it up for you. I'm speaking for them on this one. There will be no marriage. All our way they say she has a kilo whack. There's no need now.
So on a flip side,
let's not lie to ourselves.
Let's be on a flip side. On a flip side, all right. I have a friend who is still mentally down as we speak, because he's no longer married to that babe. All right, the girl he got married to had a very close friend who
male
was
friend
a lesbian to the girl. Who was like, you can imagine.
That guy, though.
Hold on. Let me bust your mind. Let me bust your mind.
He can't break up with
Let me bust your mind. Baba go dey living room, right?
He said,
As it things they go on for inside room. Say my wife, you know,
this one will talk this
Baba
one.
dey on top laptop, they work and everything, and
see,
my wife is inside.
But there's no way.
They are playing, they are enjoying.
Boy, they have to break up with that now.
Premium. You see, if this thing hasn't happened to you, you will not agree. I used to date this girl. Premium.
Even the same girl.
No, the same girl. If for service,
because this girl,
see, this girl. When I was dating this girl, she had this so-called big bros that she used to hang out with. I respect that bros. That big uncle. When I found out, I sank into the ground. Since that time, I don't believe in any. Oh, this is my best friend. I don't like it. I do not believe
that
in
would
it.
have happened to me because there was a girl I was going to get married to. This guy, I love this girl so much at that time.
You guys are
the girl introduced me to someone, right? Imagine you introducing me to your friend. You said he's your best friend. The Baba come meet me. They tell me, say, Baba, how are you? Oh, she's a good girl.
She's a good girl.
He's telling you from experience.
Trust me, this girl is an amazing girl.
Yeah.
All right?
She's amazing.
Only for me to find out, right? That they were before he got married. Right? Now, they're now together. And they were literally just
the guy just wanted to secure.
All right. So the thing is, the girl was trying to secure me.
You dodged the bullet.
I lost your mind. The girl was trying to,
just lock something down there.
Now maybe lock something down. Ask me ask me how I found out.
How did you find out?
The girl's younger sister, the girl's younger brother rather. I went to the house and asked him where she went to. In my mind, I knew that if she was with that guy, there was nothing to find out again.
Yeah.
All I did was I bought him chocolates. I said, where did your sister go to tell me? Don't lie to me. He said, he went to meet uncle. He went to meet uncle. There's no problem. Thank you very much. Good day. I greeted the mom. I said, Mommy, thank you. God bless. That was the last time I saw the mom. That was the end of the relationship.
One of the crazy things for me, and Femi mentioned this as well, what crime did single people commit that all of a sudden they're not welcome?
No, so but the thing is, it comes with age, right? At one point, you're all single. Gradually, you all start to get married. At one point, nobody is single again. So it's age. A time will come, present, I don't think I have any single friend again. Most of them might be divorced now, but at least they were once married. Yeah. So I think it comes with age. Because there was a time that, I think I was one of the first set of people to get married in my clique of friends. So imagine them saying, you can't come to my house because you're married. No.
So I don't think this is a conversation to have, and I'll tell you why. Because we already talked about boundaries. If you're a matured person, you have matured friends. There's no reason to have this conversation because they know
what's obtainable. Exactly, they know what's obtainable.
They know obviously that this guy is a married man now. I can't go to his house, or I can't even be in a circle and be like, guy, have fun. I think we do this kind of thing. No, you know fully well that these are things that you shouldn't do.
I also feel that once you're married, there are certain responsibilities that come your way. For instance, I remember my first 2 years of being married, and my friends would try to, take me out and say, oh, let's meet at X place, let's meet. And, I just didn't see it because it was like I'd evolved past that. Yeah. And, it's always difficult for you to stay friends with single people, if I'm being honest. It's very difficult.
Thank you. I was about to say something now, Olamide. Thank you so much for saying what you just said. You do know that naturally you will lose friendship with someone who is single, who is your friend.
Yeah.
And you know fully well that this person is not looking like this.
Is this something you do intentionally, or
it's just unconsciously? It will just happen that you are not talking anymore. Now, you're not doing anything anymore.
Let me say this to wrap this up and get to some of the comments that we have. I feel if you're my real friend and you're my true friend, after I'm married, our friendship does not necessarily change, but some dynamics may change. And when you eventually get married, because the prayer is that we all eventually all get married, raise our children, and our children are friends. Our children marry each other and stuff like that.
Because until you guys said it, they occurred to me. I have a friend that lives in Abuja. I live in Lagos. If he lands in Lagos today, and I tell my wife, I'm going to pick him at the airport, I can tell you for free, she won't call me again. If I call him next month,
as long as she knows you're with him.
As long as she knows I'm with him.
That's the trust.
All right, let's read a couple of comments that have come out on social media. I have one from @Funke that says, hey gang, good to see you hosting. Thank you. I told you they needed someone with facial hair. He said, she now says, which one is traditional woman again? Skooky with his failed, come on, he said with his failed music career, just be dishing out Orishi on social media. No. I don't think it was Orishi. He makes a lot of sense when it comes to relationships. Sheon says, please, why am I just seeing Olamide? That he's so fine. She tried to eat. Say he's so fine.
I don't blame. He's married though.
He's married.
Very married.
He's
very married.
And some of it is, if you shave now, you don't find like this underneath the baby. Anyways, Sheon also says, you see this cheating matter, it is an average Nigerian man's food. They can cheat. Then let one of you without sin in that studio cast the first stone. And I will cast it. I don't cheat. Wait, sorry. I no longer cheat. And Remy sent a message. And Remy says, gang, this single friends matter. I do not have a problem with it, actually. But some girls don't send you and your friendship. They will flirt with their friend's husband and sleep with him and then never want to let go. Witches in disguise.
Wow.
Another message, the final one, more messages are coming in. Temidayo says, gang, my best friend slept with my husband. I caught them, and that was the end of my friendship and marriage. after 2 kids. That he is still begging. He is still begging after 2 years, but I am done. Nothing my family members will say will make me change my mind.
Oh my God.
So much for not cutting my single friends. I am pained. So that's the funny thing. They're friends and they're enemies. You should be able to know the difference. Some of your single friends are not happy with the fact that you're no longer single. That's the truth. But it's scary. Her best friend slept with her husband. Some weeks ago, we spoke about husbands sleeping with their wives' sisters. That proximity. It's scary of what's going on. And I don't know. We're all married here. I wish we had a single person on the table tonight to share some insights, to let him know that we don't want him in our circle.
Well, it's scary though.
Like discrimination.
And meanwhile, you're giving us the tip in a second, so let's hold those thoughts. So you can keep on sending your messages to The Black Table on TVC. We will attend to some of those messages even before next week, or even next week as the show commences. But we have a part of our show where it's called Just a Tip. Just a little advice that one of our gentlemen on the table gives people out there. So Olamide at the bar will be giving us just a tip tonight. Olamide, what tip do you have for us?
Just a tip. I'm not going to put the entire shaft in, just a tip. Just a
little tip.
Yeah, so... okay, I'm not going to try and sound like a smart ASS. Yeah. I'm going to sound like that, but I think it's simple. I feel in life, we evolve gradually. And I feel that as a man, you should know when there's time for you to move on and when there's time for you to drop certain things. For me, I feel that bringing home a single friend is not a big deal, but you are the person in charge. You should be able to control the situation. You need to be able to put your friends in check. If you're able to do that, I don't see any big issues with you bringing your friends home.
And to wrap up the show, here's the funny thing. Some of our married friends are even the problem. Like Mazzino.
Big problem.
And that's our show. That's our show for tonight. We'll be back again Friday at 11 p.m. Enjoy what's left of the month of April. Thank you so much for tuning in to TVC. See you next week.
Entertainment is an opportunity to share. Entertainment is an opportunity to create conversation. As an actor, I have the opportunity to portray different kinds of people, and these different kinds of people